The floor is clean, the sink is empty, the table is clear, and yet nobody in the house seems to have spent the entire afternoon cleaning. There is no giant weekend battle with dust, no mountain of laundry waiting for rescue, no exhausting 3-hour session where you move everything around just to put it back again. Instead, small actions happen almost invisibly. A cup is washed after use, shoes stop at the entrance, a surface is wiped before dirt has time to build. Something gets put back exactly where it belongs. The mess never gets the chance to become a disaster. And that is the part you may be missing. You probably don't hate cleaning. You hate the feeling of cleaning everything at once. You hate looking around your home and realizing that one small mess has somehow become 20 different tasks. The kitchen needs attention. The bathroom needs attention. Clothes are everywhere. Dust has collected under the furniture. The sink is full, and suddenly cleaning feels like a punishment. But what if the secret is not cleaning harder? What if it is making dirt and clutter harder to accumulate in the first place? Walk into many Japanese homes and you will notice something simple before you notice anything beautiful. The entrance has a purpose. Shoes come off. Outdoor dirt stays outside. Objects have places. Floors are often kept clear. Cleaning is not always treated as a giant event. It can be woven into ordinary life. There is also a cultural concept called soji, meaning cleaning or cleaning up. And in Japan, cleaning has long been connected with responsibility, order, and care. You can see this clearly in Japanese schools, where students traditionally participate in cleaning their classrooms and shared spaces. The practice is not simply about making the room look better. It teaches that the space you use is also a space you are responsible for, and that idea changes everything. Instead of waiting until your home becomes dirty enough to demand your attention, you maintain it continuously. You prevent the pile. You prevent the stain. You prevent the clutter. You prevent the overwhelming feeling. The United States Environmental Protection Agency notes that indoor dust can contain a mixture of substances brought indoors, including soil. The longer dust and debris remain undisturbed, the more they become part of the environment around you. So the question is not, how often should you clean your entire house? A better question is, how can you stop small problems from becoming big ones? And that is where the Japanese approach becomes surprisingly practical. Start at the front door. In many Japanese homes, shoes are removed at the entrance, or genkan, a designated area that separates the outside from the inside. It is a tiny boundary, but it performs an important job. Dirt from streets, sidewalks, soil, and other outdoor surfaces is stopped before it travels through the house. You don't need to scrub the entire floor if you never bring as much dirt onto it. That is habit number 1. Stop dirt at the door. Remove outdoor shoes. Keep indoor slippers if you prefer. Sweep the entrance regularly. The goal is prevention. Habit number 2 is just as simple. Clean while the mess is small. After cooking, wipe the counter. After washing your face, quickly rinse the sink. After eating, clear the table. You are not starting a cleaning session. You are closing a small loop. Habit number 3. Wash immediately when practical. One plate is easy. A sink full of plates feels like a project. 1 cup takes seconds. 10 cups create resistance. This is not about perfection. It is about reducing the psychological weight of the task. Have you ever looked at a small mess and thought, I'll deal with it later, only to discover that later you have an entire room to deal with? That is how clutter grows. Habit number 4 is give every frequently used object a home. Keys, wallet, remote, chargers, bags, cleaning supplies. When an object has a predictable location, putting it away becomes almost automatic. You don't have to make a new decision every time. Habit number 5 is keep surfaces visually clear. A clear table is easier to wipe. A clear countertop is easier to clean. A clear floor is easier to vacuum or sweep. And there is a psychological benefit too. A 2010 study led by researchers at the University of California, Los Angeles, published in the Personality and Social Psychology Bulletin, examined how people described their homes and found associations between perceptions of clutter and stress-related patterns, particularly among women in the study. The important lesson is not that every object creates stress. It is that your environment can influence how you experience your day. A surface covered with objects silently tells your brain there are unfinished things everywhere. So reduce the visual noise. Habit number 6 is use the right tool immediately. Keep a small cloth near the kitchen. Keep a brush where dirt commonly collects. Keep cleaning supplies close to the place where you use them. If the cloth is downstairs and the spill is upstairs, you create friction. If the cloth is beside the sink, wiping becomes almost effortless. This is a powerful principle. You are not trying to become more disciplined. You are designing your environment so the correct action becomes easier. And suddenly, cleaning stops feeling like a separate activity. It becomes part of using the room. Now move into the kitchen. This is where small habits can save you from the biggest cleaning sessions. Habit number 7 is clean from the top down. When dusting or wiping, start with higher surfaces and move downward. Dust that falls can then be cleaned later, instead of making you repeat the same work. It sounds obvious, but simple systems are powerful because they remove unnecessary effort. Habit number 8 is deal with water before it becomes a problem. Wipe moisture from bathroom surfaces, kitchen counters, or areas where water regularly collects. Moisture left behind can contribute to stains, mineral buildup, and conditions that encourage mold growth. The U.S. Environmental Protection Agency recommends controlling moisture indoors and keeping indoor humidity levels generally between 30 and 50% to help limit moisture-related problems. So the habit is not deep clean the bathroom every day. It is much smaller. Notice moisture. Remove it early. Habit number 9 is don't let food waste sit. A few crumbs are nothing. A forgotten spill can become sticky. A small food stain can become an unpleasant smell. A plate left overnight creates another task tomorrow. You are constantly making tiny choices that determine whether tomorrow's cleaning is easy or difficult. Habit number 10 is reset one room before you leave it. Before leaving the kitchen, return the dishes. Before leaving the bedroom, put clothes where they belong. Before leaving the living room, return the remote and clear the table. Think of it as a 1-minute reset. You are not cleaning the entire room. You are simply returning it to its starting condition. This is one of the biggest differences between maintenance and recovery. Recovery means the room has already become chaotic, and you must fight your way back. Maintenance means you prevent the chaos from becoming large enough to fight. And then comes habit number 11. Finish the day with a 5-minute reset. Set a timer. 5 minutes. No more. Walk through the most important areas of your home. Put away obvious clutter. Wipe one surface. Move one item back to its place. Empty a small trash bin if necessary. Stop when the timer ends. The goal is not to make the house perfect. The goal is to make tomorrow easier. This is where the Japanese philosophy of cleaning connects with something deeper. You are not cleaning because your home has failed. You are cleaning because the space supports your life. That distinction matters. When cleaning becomes punishment, you resist it. When cleaning becomes care, it becomes easier to repeat. Think about Japanese school cleaning again. Students are not simply being trained to produce spotless classrooms. They are participating in the upkeep of a shared environment. The lesson is subtle. If you use a space, you help care for it. Your home is your most immediate version of that space. You live there. You eat there. You sleep there. You rest there. So why wait until the environment becomes unbearable before caring for it? You don't need a perfect house. You need a house that is easy to reset. I still struggle with this. It is easy to believe that cleaning requires a large block of free time. You tell yourself you'll do it on Saturday. Then Saturday arrives. You are tired. The mess is larger than you remembered. You don't know where to start. so you postpone it again. That is why the first change is not buying better cleaning products. It is changing the size of the task. Instead of telling yourself, I need to clean the house, say, I need to wipe the sink. Instead of, I need to organize the bedroom, say, I need to put these 5 things away. Smaller actions create less resistance. Try the first practice today, the 60-second reset. Choose one area you use constantly, your desk, kitchen counter, bathroom sink. For exactly 60 seconds, return everything to its proper place and wipe the main surface. Then stop. You may be surprised how much difference 1 minute creates. The second practice is the 5-minute closing ritual. Set a timer for 5 minutes before bed. Move through the house with one rule. Don't start complicated projects. Put things away. Wipe obvious dirt. Straighten cushions. Clear the table. Put clothes where they belong. When the timer ends, stop. You are building consistency, not chasing perfection. The third practice is the 1 in, 1 out pause. When you bring a new object into your home, look for one thing you no longer use. You don't necessarily have to throw it away. Donate it, recycle it, repair it, give it to someone who needs it. The purpose is to prevent possessions from quietly multiplying, because cleaning is not only about dirt, it is also about volume. 10 objects are easier to manage than 100. A kitchen with fewer unnecessary items is easier to wipe. A closet with fewer clothes is easier to organize. A desk with fewer objects is easier to reset. You reduce the workload before you begin. And notice what all 11 habits have in common. None requires extraordinary discipline. You remove shoes. You wipe small spills. You wash what you can immediately. You give objects homes. You keep surfaces clear. You place tools where you need them. You clean from top to bottom. You manage moisture. You deal with food waste. You reset rooms. You finish the day with 5 minutes. These are not dramatic transformations. They are tiny interruptions to chaos. And that may be the real secret. You don't need to become someone who loves cleaning. You need to become someone who rarely allows cleaning to become overwhelming. There is also something emotionally satisfying about this approach. Every small action tells you that tomorrow's version of yourself deserves an easier morning. You wash the cup tonight because you don't want to wake up to a dirty sink. You put your clothes away because you don't want to search for them tomorrow. You clear the desk because you want your future self to begin work without visual clutter. Cleaning becomes a form of cooperation with yourself, and maybe that is why these habits feel so different from a giant cleaning day. You are not fighting yesterday's neglect. You are quietly protecting tomorrow's peace. Go back to the front door. You arrive home after a long day. You remove your shoes at the Gen-Con. The dirt stays near the entrance. You put your keys in their usual place. Your bag goes where it belongs. You walk into the kitchen. The counter is already clear. There are no dishes waiting for you. The sink is clean. You sit down. Nothing dramatic has happened. You simply prevented 20 small problems from becoming one large problem. That is the real lesson behind these Japanese cleaning habits. A spotless home is not necessarily created by working harder. It is often created by allowing less mess to accumulate. You don't wait for the mountain. You move the stone. One dish, one surface, one object, 1 minute, one room, again and again. And there is something deeper here than cleaning. Your environment teaches you how to live inside it. When everything is scattered, your attention has more places to go. When everything has a place, your mind has fewer decisions to make. When surfaces are clear, cleaning becomes easier. When cleaning becomes easier, you do it more often. When you do it more often, the mess rarely becomes overwhelming. It is a loop. Small maintenance creates less chaos. Less chaos makes maintenance easier. And the cycle continues. You do not need to spend your entire weekend cleaning. You need systems that quietly work while you are living your life. So tomorrow morning, don't start by cleaning the whole house. Start at the entrance. Remove your shoes. Put one thing away. Wipe one surface. Wash one cup. then continue with your day. At night, give yourself 5 minutes, not an hour, 5 minutes. Ask yourself, what small mess can I remove now so tomorrow feels lighter? Maybe it is the dishes, maybe the desk, maybe the clothes on the chair, maybe the bathroom sink. Do that one thing, then stop. Because the goal is not perfection. Your home is supposed to be lived in. People spill things. Children make messes. Meals create dishes. Clothes get dirty. Life happens. A spotless home that makes you anxious is not the goal. A home that is easy to return to is. And perhaps that is why these habits work so well. They turn cleaning from an event into a rhythm, from punishment into maintenance, from something you dread into something almost invisible. You stop asking, when will I finally have time to clean? You start asking, what can I reset in 1 minute? That is a much easier question, and 1 minute repeated every day can do something an entire weekend of exhaustion often cannot. It can make cleanliness feel normal. So look around your room right now. Choose one thing that does not belong where it is. Put it back. Then ask yourself one final question. If your home could feel lighter tomorrow, because of one tiny habit you start tonight, what would that habit be? If you already know the answer, write reset in the comments. Because a cleaner home may not begin with more effort. It may begin with smaller actions that you repeat until they become almost effortless.